So I joined Stack Overflow like when it first came out. I had been reading, uh, what's his name, Jeff Atwood, his blog for a couple years. This was early in my career as a software developer. Um, and back then, I'm trying to learn the different frameworks and what are the best practices. And before Stack Overflow, your options were fairly limited. Looking back, it's kind of crazy that we didn't have such a thing. Um, Somehow we got by, I guess. But Stack Overflow was a game changer, and I was very active on it. Eventually, ended up being top 1% by reputation. Uh, all of those questions and answers today are irrelevant. Older technologies. Um, but it helped me to get to where I got in my career, and that was great. Um, but one of the things that was unfortunate about it is the trajectory of that platform, as a community. And, I would say today it's pretty much dead. Like it served its purpose, and I know a lot of, good intentions, a lot of money, a lot of talent went into building it. I don't know. We don't need it anymore. And even if we did, it turned into something that squanders a lot of its potential. And I understand, you know, the moderation philosophy, and we're a high quality Q&A answer only, and we're going to enforce a lot of behavioral rules to try to keep that quality bar high. I get it. Incentives drive everything. I get why they made those choices. I feel like they should have made room for something a little bit more in line with natural human behavior. Like what I'm doing here is natural human behavior. I can take the essential insights from this and polish it up nice and put it up on the shelf and say, this is like a good YouTube video, right? But I shouldn't be prevented from using YouTube to do what I'm doing now, which is, it's not polished. It's just natural human behavior, right? There should be a place for people to do that. In the context of software development, questions like how do software developers as a community talk to each other? And you can get your answers, your questions answered through blogs or Twitter or Reddit. There's a lot of ways to engage with the community of other software developers. Stack Overflow is only one. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about Pluralsight as kind of being the next evolution in how people could learn how to be a good software developer. And there's a parallel, right? Stack Overflow is all text, right? Pluralsight was video. And that upped the game when it came to how do I use my time effectively to learn how to be a good software developer, right? And even Pluralsight, as a platform, is not as relevant as it used to be. And a lot of that is thanks to YouTube, honestly. Pluralsight is a very polished product. And it came out in a time when that didn't exist so much. Like I used to use egghead.io a lot. Very polished, high quality content. Very helpful, worth paying for, because the only way you're going to get polished content is by making sure the people creating it can earn a good living, right? You got to pay for it. I don't have to pay to watch coding videos on YouTube, right? Those creators, hope, if their motivation is to get paid, I'm sure they're trying to make that happen. But a lot of it is just sharing it for free, like I did on Stack Overflow. When I joined Stack Overflow, there was no expectation that I'm going to get paid. Like, the answers that I provide are my intellectual property and I deserve to be compensated. No, it was just, holy crap, we can all talk to each other about software development. This is going to be amazing. Yes, I want to participate in this. I'm going to benefit from it. I'm also going to provide benefit. And YouTube, is the same way. It's not about profiting or protecting your copyrightable content, right? I want YouTube to be more like how Stack Overflow was. And I made a comment on Hacker News recently that kind of touched on this point. I want people to interact with each other on the internet in that same spirit that Stack Overflow started with. That we're here to figure this all out together, not to protect my contributions as something that I intend to profit with. So I guess we'll have to dig into that a little bit further.